In today's guitar lesson, we're going to be learning the intro parts to Slide Away by Oasis. Now before we get into it though, I do want to point out that on my channel, and I'll put a link for this in the description, I've already done a tutorial for the solo, so definitely check that out if you want to learn that part. And I am very soon going to be doing a video on the chords that go throughout the entire song. But today I wanted to just cover the intro, because I know it's an easy one to get wrong. So I want to show you exactly how it's played on the original. It starts off with a hammer on from 5 to 7, okay, on the G string. So you put your first finger on the 5th fret of the G string, you pick that note, but you hammer down straight away. And put a little vibrato on that note, okay? So when you listen to the song, that is the first thing you hear. But then I want to go actually straight into this little arpeggio part. In fact, why don't I just play it first? Okay, so we're going to start off with an A minor chord. If you don't know how to play that, your first finger needs to go on the 1st fret of the B string, and your 2nd and 3rd fingers need to go on the 2nd frets of the D and G strings, okay? But also, we need to add our 4th finger onto the 3rd fret of the high E string. So what we're left with there is an A minor 7 chord. So yeah, before you even start picking, you can hold this chord on, and we're going to start by just picking the A string, the root note, skip the D string though, and hit the top 3 after that, G, D, and high E, 3rd fret. So the first 4 notes. Okay, now once you've done that though, you then take your little finger off so that E string rings out. So you still hit the high E string but open this time. Then you hit the 1st fret again of the B string, but then you take that 1st finger off. Okay, so if I play those first 4 notes again, you hold that note a little bit longer, but then add those 3 notes on the end. So here's the whole first bar. Alright, now the next part is kind of based around a G, but what I tend to do is just put my 3rd finger on the low E string, on the 3rd fret, and then my 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. It's kind of like a G type chord, a G5 is what you'd call that. But anyway, we're going to hit that low E string, and then we're going to hit the top 3, holding that chord on. So the E, B, and G strings, so it goes. Then after that, you're going to put on an F major 7 chord, which means your first finger's got to go on the 1st fret of the B string, 2nd finger goes on the 2nd fret of the G, and 3rd finger goes on the 3rd fret of the D. So you end up with this chord. And all we have to do at this point is just go from the D string and just go up all the strings in order. Okay, so if I put that whole bar together, that is the whole 2nd bar of the arpeggio part. But now why don't we put it all together so far? This is the whole kind of first line. Okay, so now we've done that, the next line is kind of similar. So we're going to put on that same chord again, that A minor 7, those 4 fingers. But this time we're just going to hit 2 longer notes. Basically these are crotchets, 1 beat each, on the A and the D string. So 1, 2, but then we strum the top 4 strings after that. It's kind of like a slow strum as well. It's one of those strums where you kind of like hit all the strings, but not kind of quickly at the same time. Just slow down your arm and you'll hear almost those strings come through individually like this. So if I put those first 3 notes together, it's 1, 2, and then strum. But then as soon as you've done that again, you take that 4th finger off and you hit the same notes as you did on bar 1. So 0, 1, and then first finger off with a 0. So this bar is going to sound like this. Alright, now the next bar after that, the kind of the 4th bar here, is going to go back to that G5 chord and it hits the same notes. So bottom string and top 3. Put on that F major 7 shape again, but this time it's a slightly different order. If you listen carefully to the track, you can hear this time it hits the D string, the G, but then it goes to the high E, and then down to the B. So that bar is now going to sound like this. Okay, and then if I put that whole line together there. And now why don't I put this whole arpeggio part together like this. So next up is the lead part. I'm going to play through it first. It's going to sound like this. Alright, so you'll notice the very first note is actually 2 notes together. Your first finger needs to go on fret 5 on this E note of the B string. Okay, so B string, fret 5, first finger, but just leave that on, and importantly, don't bend it, just leave that note as it is. But then we need to put our 3rd finger on fret 7 of the B string. And our 2nd finger is going to go on fret 6 because you must use 2 fingers for this bend, okay, or you won't get the precision or the right strength. So we're going to use the 2 fingers to push up until you hear the notes become the same note. This happens a lot in rock music where you'll hear this kind of thing. Can you hear that E note stayed the same, but this D note was bent up to an E note, so they should end up sounding the same, okay? Now once you've bent that note though, you actually only pick that G string again, so you can, just relax that first finger. You pick it again as it's bent. And then just bring it down and then play a 5 on the G string. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm bending up to that note, picking the bent string, releasing the bend, and then playing the 5. After that, it then resolves that lick by going to the 7th fret of the D string. Okay, so if I put all of that together, it's this. Alright, so I'll do that one more time. But once you've done that, you've got 2 quick hammer-ons from 5 to 7 on the A string and on the D string. It can sound like this. As soon as you've done that, you play the 5th fret of the G and then the 7th fret of the D. So this kind of lick, or this phrase, is going to sound like that. Definitely make sure you listen to the original as well to pick up all the right note lengths. But anyway, if I put it all together so far. And then we just finish it off with 2nd finger on 6 of the A string, 1st finger on 5, and then the open A string. So it's just 6, 5, 0 on the A string. Alright, so to put it all together again, a bit slower than the original, it's going to sound like this. And that is the entire intro.